Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Today is the 28th of June 2026. We're fast approaching July, so I thought we'd just do short video for July and August for every ascendant and also moon sign, because it's good to read your chart from the moon sign just to see how the transit feel. So I'm going to just go through the transits so we can actually have a look at them. Let's just have a look at the chart for this period. Excuse me. Okay, as you can see, obviously Saturn has been in Pisces for a while and will carry on being there for a period of time still. But it will actually go retrograde on the 27th of July. And we'll also have got Jupiter, which is again going to be in Cancer for a while. So Saturn has, for all of us, has an impact on Taurus, has an impact on Virgo, and also on Sagittarius. So, as well as obviously, rules Capricorn and Aquarius too. So, very important planet. We put effort into where the third aspect is. The seventh aspect is highly respectful, and where we have all our honor and commitment, loyalties. And 10th from it is obviously how it's projected onto the world. Excuse me, I'm just going to cough. Excuse me. Then we have Jupiter. Jupiter rules obviously Sagittarius and Pisces, and it's going to be aspect in Pisces, aspect in Saturn, which is great because excuse me, Pisces is a sign of spirituality and letting go of just mundane things that are not true, really. They're just like we are in a material world. It's letting go of all those kind of things and seeing the bigger picture. So by both these two planets having an impact on Pisces, it's very important. I'm sure on the hashtags you've seen the Great Awakening, that people are waking up, people are just seeing that things are not as they seem, all that kind of stuff. So Pisces, by the nature of Jupiter aspect in it, is being protected. So that's a very, very good sign. It also rules, as I said, Sag and Pisces, but it's having three aspects, just like Saturn. So it's aspect in Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces, as we mentioned. So having a massive impact on those, and also Cancer. And actually, if you look at the beginning of the month, it's on the degree that is the most kind of, well, that's the degree, 5 degrees when it's exalted. But it's an exaltation sign. So, Jupiter is pretty strong. And then we have the nodes. So nodes are going to be for a while still in Aquarius for Rahu, which is co-rules it with Saturn. So that's great. Rahu rules technology, new things, and all kind of, I would say, kind of rules people who are not kind of different species, who are not particularly human, high dimensional, other dimensions, outer dimensions, those sort of people too, which disclosure about that's coming out. It's also rules AI. So new, particularly in Shatabisha, it's all to do with here 1,000 or 100 healers, as they say. So it's like by the time it comes out of there and goes into Capricorn, that there's going to be new modalities coming out for health and healing. So things are going to really move forward after that, this transit. For K2 is obviously in Leo. Leo is a sign of celebrities, famous people, royalty, big leaders, things like that. And by the nature of that being there in Leo, we know that it's actually, as we have seen, many of the Hollywood greats have passed away. You can just have a look. Just has been so many people. I mean, a lot of them have been very, very old anyway. But just, yeah. So there's loads of people passing away. Lots of changes going on, and also what it does is Sun will be there with it on the 18th. So I think there's going to be maybe in August 18th August. So I think there could be like a major passing away of a royalty or a very sort of significant figure in the world of politics or influence, basically. So that's happening with the nodes. So actually, Rahu is also aspecting Gemini from where it is, and it's also aspecting Libra. And K2 is aspecting the Aries and also Sagittarius. So this has been going on for a while anyway, and I have actually done a video about Sagittarius. You know, it's such an important sign for the remainder of this year. And you'll also see that Mercury will retrograde back to Gemini, and where the Sun is at the moment, and it's again going to have an impact on Sagittarius. So lots going on there. But all the personal planets, one by one, they're coming through, and we'll see them going on to Virgo by the time we finish August. So just wanted to say that Venus is not in a good condition. Venus being obviously the most important feminine planet for everyone. It's in Cancer, which is unfriendly towards, doesn't like being with Jupiter for one thing, doesn't like the moon, so they don't. Venus doesn't like Cancer, but moon likes Venus's sign. It's kind of odd, but anyway. But then it goes into Leo, which are enemies. Sun is enemy to Venus and Venus to the Sun. And then it goes into its debilitation sign, even though it's only really debilitated at 28 degrees. But nonetheless, it's a sign that is like really is a critical, it's digests and dissects everything. And, there's like a post-mortem goes on in that sign. So it's not really in keeping with what Venus is all about. So anyway, this is like an overview of that's going on. For me, the things that really stand out is that obviously Mercury goes retrograde and Saturn goes retrograde. And also the other thing that's interesting to know as well, for me, I think one of the signs that's quite troubling to Mars is Gemini. Mars in Gemini is quite a difficult one, so I would imagine we're going to have like some crazy times because of that happening during this period, and in 3rd of August. So it's just very, very interesting time to watch it. Not only does it go into Gemini, but also we have 2 eclipses happening, but which are, the first one is more really the solar eclipse happening on 12th of August. It's really more to do with, you can see more on the zodiac, tropical zodiac. But definitely we have the 28th of August as well, where we have the partial lunar eclipse occurring in Aquarius. So it's like really interesting time going on there. So these for me really stand out. But anyway, let's just walk through and just see what we can see from this this period for the ascendant. So video is for Gemini Moon or Gemini Ascendant for July and August 2026. I hope you're all well. Let's have a look at the astrology chart for this. So basically, you're ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is retrograde, but it does go direct this month, which is great. So it goes direct on the 24th. So let's start. For you guys, obviously, you have Sun, your 3rd house ruler, on your ascendant as we start the month. But let's go on the 5th. What happens on the 5th is, there we go. Venus goes into what would be 3rd house. It's 5th house ruler in the 3rd house. So you're feeling very, very artistic. It could also mean that you could be in contact with an old lover, that kind of thing. You could rekindle some sort of contact. It doesn't necessarily mean you get together or anything like that, but it could have romantic thing. You could hear from somebody who was dear to you at some point. It could also be like a friend who is female contacts you during this time too. But it's obviously Venus is not happy in Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun and they are arch enemies, so it's nice to just be kind and nice to females during this period. It's actually not really good time, July and August, for Venus, and feminine planets will kind of struggle a little bit, if you like. So let's go to the next major day, which is Mercury going back into own sign. So Mercury, your ruler, is in the first house, and although it's retrograde, but you know it has directional strength in the first house, and it rules that house too, which is quite an incredible thing. So it gives you amazing abilities. And generally speaking, Geminis and Virgos ruled by Mercury, they're very adaptable people anyway. So, and then on the 14th, let's go to the 14th. So we have a new moon occurring on your ascendant. So this is, you know, Mercury is involved also. So, and so it's things to do with yourself, really, things to do with you, how you value, how you make choices, decisions you make, how you communicate with others. All of those things are really the focus for you at this point, you know, what you want to achieve. But obviously, you because Mercury is retrograde, you're pondering more than you're actually actioning things. But not for long, because on the 24th, 10 days later, things will change. So let's go on to the next important date, which is the 17th. So on the 17th, we have Sun in Cancer. Sun and Jupiter both love being in Cancer. So it's really nice for you. Makes you feel kind of quite, you know, want to be around the family and your spouse and just feeling good. And so that's where you put in your effort. Third house ruler is always putting effort into something. And then we have the next important one is when Sun on the 17th. Oh, sorry, not that one. And Mercury goes on the 24th, goes direct. Oh, here we go. There we go. So here we go, where now Mercury is nice and direct, so it just gives you more energy to start doing things rather than always, you know, sort of being passive in the background, thinking and planning and reviewing stuff. So, and then the next big thing is the 27th when Saturn goes retrograde, and for you is like your 7th and 10th house ruler, so very important planet, rules two of your you know, it's basically it's rules, not, you know, it's in your 10th house, but rules your 9th house, which is very important. It has an impact on your 10th house. So there's some changes could be happening, and so you're kind of pondering about that, you know, and whilst it is going on like this, you know, actually Saturn in the 10th house gets a lot of respect and at work for you. So people really notice you to be a dependable, hardworking person. And at this point, you're just like a bit more passive with things that Saturn is doing. I actually quite like Saturn to be retrograde. And then on the 30th, we have a full moon occurring. So let's go there. And that will be in Capricorn, which for you guys is your second house ruler in the 8th house. So some changes occur in your second, you know, so it could be that you put more effort into your home, your family, and your in-laws as well. And then let's go to August. So the most poignant thing there is the second when Venus goes into debility sign, not the degree, but Venus in there. So nice to be good to yourself and good to the others, the females particularly. And but this Venus, luckily, is Mercury, the dispositor, is strong, and it's also in the 4th house. So that really does help because Venus is strong in the 4th house. And then we have, you know, because it's opposite, its 5th house ruler in the 4th creates a Raja Yoga, and also 5th house ruler and 9th house ruler have an impact on each other. So that's also pretty good too. And then we have on the Mercury goes on the 6th. Oh, sorry, Mars goes on the 3rd, goes into first house. Not a greatest thing for you guys, for anyone really, because Mars, I think, is one of the most difficult signs for Mars to be in. It's a sign of communication and, you know, friends and stuff like that. So we could be just a little bit too keen, too energetic, too pushy, and so we've got to be careful with that. So just be careful yourself, because Mars is also action, doing things quickly without thinking. So, and it's also your sixth house ruler in the first house. So to be honest, using it, the best way to use that is to exercise, do competitive sports, you know, go for a run, take on things that are just like to do with health and fitness, that, you know, how you eat, nutrition, stuff like that. That's the way to look at it. And also, it's a planet of logic with planet of practicality, so you could actually do amazing things with that and get the better octave of that. So now on the 6th, Mercury then goes into Cancer. So this is first house ruler in the second house. That creates a nice pleasure yoga for you. And then the next thing is going to be on the 12th, although it doesn't show on my software. So basically there is, let's do it, yeah. So actually the day before, on the 12th, we have, just change the time, it's in Ashlesha, yeah. So we have basically got what would be a solar eclipse occurring in Cancer. And so that's quite sort of important one, in the sense that for you guys it's actually occurring in your, sorry, I changed the time, and that really affects the so for you guys it's in your second house of home, family, your choices, what you eat, your speech, your savings, all of that is really kind of coming into a focus, if you like. So it's important to take note of that. For you also, it kind of has your first and fourth house ruler. Jupiter is your seventh and 10th house ruler are involved in this, and so is Mars, the Sun, which is rules your, what would be for you like your third house ruler in there. But also, you know, with K2 rules your sixth house, so it could be work and debts and all that kind of stuff. And also, you know, because it's an eclipse, obviously Rahu will be involved. So Rahu for you rules your ninth house, which is pretty good. So learning, actual education, higher education too, and also your father. So it really is much more to do with yourself, more includes more things that are very personal to you, in that's going to come into focus. And on the 18th, we have Sun goes into own sign. So Sun goes third house ruler in the third house. So with K2. So K2 is going to take away all of that ego from the Sun. So it's going to be, you're going to do all kind of third house things are actually the focus, where, like, you know, you might suddenly hear from a friend that you haven't heard from for a really long time, you know, have contact, you know, contact from your siblings if you don't hear from them often. You maybe see a friend that used to go, I don't know, to play violin or something, and you go back to the classes. But it really is kind of like reconnecting with people that you haven't seen for a while. And then we have so after that, we have the next big thing will be Mercury goes into Leo. So on the 23rd. Here we go. So Mercury, K2. So this could really indicate also that you're thinking about changing something in your home, your car, that kind of stuff. Maybe decorating, or even moving, maybe moving out to the family home. And then what happens, the next big thing, and really how I will just finish everything, will be like on the 28th, we have a partial lunar eclipse occurring, what would be in Aquarius. So this is important for you guys as your ninth house. And then you have also Moon, which is your second house ruler, in the ninth house. So just very much second and ninth house stuff going on there. And then K2, which is your sixth. So work, money, father, education, and learning, and yourself, your home. So it could be changing of home, maybe family move, something like that going on as well. But that will be the focus, and something will actually unveil and come into your focus. Things become clear after this. You know, something that might have been a little bit of a fog suddenly comes into focus for you. And that's how we'll finish the month. So have a good one, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much.